Welcome to the show today, fellas. We got some mail piling up here. Uh, this one I've done. Let's see. David of Christ. Sup, man? David again. You're right. It is in you. Being a player is really not me. When I was 16, all I did was run through girls. But I realize now that's not me anymore. I'm a man now. Okay. If you think that it takes being a man to just be with one woman, you're wrong. Okay, you're dead wrong. I'm looking for true love and a soulmate, not a person I have to run game on and manipulate in order to keep them in my life. Okay, you got it twisted about being a player also. If you think you have to manipulate them and run game on them, what do I talk about here? I talk about becoming a real man. Now, that's not twisting and manipulating anybody and not taking bullshit. There's no manipulation there. You can do it a real man way or you can do it the player way, okay? Let's see, but true chemistry and soul connection that comes from God. Oh, that's right, you're that brother, okay. I want something real since, well, why were you looking for pimp shit then, there, David? You don't want that shit. So why would you want to go study some pimp shit? That's what I'm going to ask you as a question. Question for Supreme Part 2 by Deluxe. Hey, Supreme, thanks for replying to my last message. I'm in college, but I don't live on campus. I live at home with my parents. Okay. In Canada, life is a bit different. Most people don't live on campus, only international students for the most part. Oh, okay. I wanted to move out because I feel lack of privacy at home. Oh, yeah. I thought you were living on the campus there. And if you live with your mommy and daddy, that really cramps up your game. So you got to get out of there. If you're living at home, one thing I can't stand is a grown-ass man living with his mom and daddy. Yeah, I know there's a lot of you guys doing that, but while you're in college, I could understand. So, again, finish your college first and then get the hell out. Save your money, be ready to get the fuck out. As soon as you finish college, get yourself a good job, get out. You know, college, I can excuse that. My oldest son, Derek, he came back to live with his mama a couple times, and I just couldn't stand it. It irritated the fuck out of me. I think because I left at 19 and I never went back. All right, Phil says, courage. I've been working on making eye contact and smiling stuff, and it is working, especially forcing eye contact with them in a non-creepy way, but I can't seem to break the yoke of shyness. It's going to take you time, Phil, when it comes to directly approaching in the midst of women giving me signals of interest. What can I do? Just keep practicing on it. If you're on take my 7 steps. The boot camp will really do you some good. All right. Z-Biz, feels like I'm losing it. Hey, I know you're not an agony aunt. Interesting phrase. I've never heard that one. Don't like them anyway. But since you're teaching about life, I'm going to ask you. I don't know if this fits into the show actually, but since it's your show and you're the teacher, then it's up to you. I've been lost for a while. Well, that fits my show if you're trying to find your purpose in life and stuff like that. This summer vacation has been by far the worst, sir, I have been through. You will probably, do you have a woman? Because if you got a woman by your side, that kind of makes the darkness seem much brighter. Why? I don't really know. That's the problem. Your shows have changed me in so many ways. I can't even step inside a room without having a chick at least giving some eye contact, unless she isn't too shy to give it. Even the shy girls will give it. They'll look at you and then glance away and glance out. Look, glance. And that's the ones you can tell are shy. When you develop your instincts for the game, you'll be able to spot the shy ones too. Just a matter of time. A lot of you guys just don't have the instinct yet or the experience. Okay. I work out with a moving goal. I'm building on my business and all that, yet I can't seem to be happy. When I give myself a kick, I almost fall like a bitch instead of taking it and go on. I'm born for gaming. The only time I am myself is when I'm in the game. I feel you on that, bro. When I settled down, I went through a down period also. Kind of because my brother died, but also being in just one relationship was hard. You guys have no idea. I went from, 6 on the team, and then see when I was with Jovina in the beginning, and her. So it was hard. When I give myself a kick, I almost fall, blah, blah, blah. The only other option is that old creepy shit I used to be. No, you never want to go back to that before you open my eyes for the world. And I really don't want to end up like that. Exactly. I will not do it. Exactly. But I'm scared that's what is happening. I don't know why. It feels like I'm lost. I've lost that inner flame to go on. It feels like there is nothing that is happening. I don't have any friends to do stuff with. I've become a lone wolf that is making people jealous or something. Most of the other friends are some girls that I have either failed with or are too creepy, etc., etc. But since they live far from here, then there is no option to meet every day. Okay, I don't know what kind of game you're running, Z-Biz. It's not game. If you're trying to game on females way far away, ask yourself, why would you step into some bullshit like that? Some stupid shit like that. Obviously something's going on inside of you to make you not, you say you're born to game, but you're trying to run from the game by your actions here. Okay? Nobody likes me as a player, and that's why I'm being a lone wolf. But I don't care too much about what others think. Good. If I have done that, I would have been manipulated. Again, just like the old days, I guess, and that is where my friends want to put me. I get the girls, but I'm losing friends. And it is mostly those you do stuff with, yeah, like traveling, party. Do it with women. That's what I did. You guys recall the last story I told about Tall Mr. Negative boning the belly dancer chick of mine and stuff like that? Someone's going to not hear the story, so let me preface it. I kicked her to the curb. This brother went and picked her up, okay? Before someone says, ooh, Supreme got played on. No, wasn't like that. So anyway, you learn to do things with the women, okay? And that's what I learned to do. When you go places, you travel, you can do the same thing with women. Plus you have a lot of fun. You know, all the sex you want, and get to have fun, get some little close times together. All right. The rest of my pals are from my band, and they seem to be needing a piece of your show too. Give it to them. And yeah, a man should stand on his own legs, and the only way is the hard way. But it feels like my legs are broken. Okay. You're a musician, so you got that whole musician shit going on too. And I understand you guys have your ups and downs. Recognize it as a cycle of life for you guys. Okay, I'll see you in a bit. My father was a musician also. He's also right-brained. I always thought he was left-brained, but he actually ended up being right-brained. He's also a manifester like I am, and by human design. So anyway, I've been around musicians all of my life, and you guys have a cycle to you. You know, you're like manic depressives. And watch out for that. Become aware of that. Okay? Recognize it's just a cycle. You'll eventually come out of it. You'll be back on top of everything. Bury yourself into your art. That's what you want to do. If your life purpose is to deliver good music, start writing and developing that music. Don't just sit there whining and complaining about your friends. Turn it into your art or your life purpose. Okay? The Bible, Mac the Knife, 88. A lot of blacks reject Judaism, Christianity, and Islam because they say they are Caucasian religions. Actually, a lot of blacks ran to Christianity. And then back in the 80s, a lot of blacks were running to Islam. Okay? And that's when we saw names like Jamal come out and, Kareem. They became real popular. back in the 80s. They were popular in the 60s. It really came to a big push in the 80s. You know, like every girl was naming their child, it seemed like to me, an African or a Muslim name. Nobody was naming their kids African names. They were naming them Muslim names. So let's not get that twisted. Blacks, we ran to Christianity when we were allowed to accept it or allowed to practice religion. Let's see, a lot of blacks say that the Bible tells us that man has been on earth for only 6,500 years. Yes, that's the age of the Caucasian race. This is when the Caucasian race first came on the scene. I asked, well, what was before the Caucasian race? Planet of the Apes? Why don't you study? I'm assuming you're black. I'm assuming that Mac the Knife 88 is a black fella, and you want to know what was before. The idea of one God came out of Africa, okay? Monotheism came out of Africa. One God, okay? Oshango, Unkulakulu, and many other names that were down there. One God, okay? So much of the Christian religion was taken out of Egypt. Egypt was before the Christianity race, because it goes back like 12,000 years. They estimate the age of the Sphinx as being about 12,000 years because they believe there's watermarks on it. So it was back when that desert was actually a fertile land period. And you think about what blacks were doing back then. They weren't sitting around chucking spears. The oldest calendar is found in South Africa. Google Adam's calendar. And there were cities down there. They found old stones and they put them together, or they started looking at them and they realized these are cities. Big cities down in South Africa, in the land of the Zulus. So you ask what was there before? There was religion before. There was people spreading across the planet, populating the planet. If they didn't do that, no other race would, if we stayed in Africa, no other race would exist. I'm at 12:30. Let me go on to the next one. I encourage you to do some research. Unfortunately, you know, black people being how we are, we rather buy the latest rap album than support our black scholars. Like Dr. Ben, last video I saw of him, he's dying in a hospital, and the guy who did the video gave him 20 bucks. After all this man has done for black folks, he had to take a handout of 20 bucks to go buy himself something. He's the one who went to Europe, studied the original papers in Spain, and got the truth firsthand. And he's an Ethiopian Jew. So we would rather, as a race, you know, buy the latest shining spinners for our cars than support our black scholars. And that shit's got to end. But so YouTube is the only place where you can get some information, unfortunately. I know a lot of people put YouTube down, but for us black folks, that's the only way we're going to get our information, because many blacks won't go out and buy a fucking book. It's too bad, and it's a goddamn shame. But use YouTube, because there's a lot of information there. Let's go on to the next one. Hey, mate, I just said I'd let you know about Ultimate Sub Guide. This is some goddamn spam. Okay, mark as spam. So I don't let them get away with that shit. You don't spam my channel. Body hair. Okay, I'm not going to read this. Body hair is up to you. If you feel like you have too much body hair, then get a manicure. Or find women that like hairy men. Okay? The fellow says he has a decent amount of hair, and anyway, some women don't like it, some women do. Okay? So you got to find the women that do, otherwise get a manicure. All right, I just did a very good show on the energy of men that's on my site. I may put it up on Facebook also. I'm not sure yet, but if you're on my site, make sure you check it out.